All right, everyone, here's a tune you can all play in your first week of piano lessons and get both hands to play together when the saints go marching in. It goes like this. Okay, so let's go over the right hand first. So first of all, you want to find C. And how you find C is you find the group of 2 black notes. You have a group of 3 black notes and a group of 2 black notes. You find the group of 2 black notes, you go directly to the left, that white note is C, and you line up your fingers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll start off in C major and then we'll figure out how to play it in every single key. So first of all, you're going to find C, E, F, and G. And those are your first notes of the melody, right? So notice that we're playing every single note, C, except for D. We're not going to play D. So if we played every one, it would be this. So the first thing is pattern recognition to find a melody, right? So we're going to play this note, we're going to skip this note, and then we're going to play all the others right in order. So that's how the melody goes. 1, 3, 4, 5. If you're going by finger numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or by notes, names of the notes, C, E, F, G. So we're skipping D. C, E, F, G, C, E, F, G. And then we do it a third time. C, E, F, G. And then E, C, E, D. So what is this exactly? Well, this is a C major chord. So to play a C major chord, you need a C, an E, and a G. And if you play all 3 of them together, you'll hear that it sounds quite nice and harmonious. And there's a reason for that, because it's a C major chord. So coming back down on that third time, we're going to play a C major chord, broken up. And to break it down, it's going to be G from the top, E, C, E, D. Now for pattern recognition, you can look at that as all skips, right? So we can either step or we can skip. So here we're skipping D, here we're skipping F. So this way we're skipping, but we're coming down. We're starting on our top note, G, E, C, E, and then one step down. So now our third part of the tune is, so it's 2 E's, E, E, D, C, and then C, E, G, 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 F. So notice again, we're coming up the C major chord. So next part is right where we started, right? Third part. E, E, D, C, C, E, G, 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 F. And then we take the tune out. E, F, G, E, D, D, C. So we might want to think about this ending as we have steps E, F, G. Now we're going to attempt to do the C chord, but then the D gets in the way. And then we finish the C chord. See? We could have done that, but the D gets in the way. Alright, so to get the whole right hand down, C, E, F, G. And remember that repeats 3 times, right? Now we come down the chord. So the third time, right? The third time is C, E, F, G, E, C, E, D, E, E, D, C, C, E, G, 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 F, E, F, G, E, D, D, C. So take a moment or take some time to familiarize yourself with the melody in each part of the melody, right? So what you would do is do part 1, right? And now you have that. When you have that down, you do part 2, right, which is the same, and then part 3. Right? So you do each part. Now part 4. And then part 5. So you might want to go back, find the parts in the video, and then pause the video, practice each part over and over and over again if you can't get it right away. There are some of you who do it right away, and some of you take longer. It does not matter how long it takes you as long as you improve, right? You might not, most people, some people are faster than other people. That does not matter. You know, I always tell people it doesn't matter how slow you are when you learn a new thing, as long as you get it down, right? If you're diligent, you can get anything down. You just have to practice very, very diligently. Okay, so here is the left hand. So we're going to play 3-note chords throughout in this. So this is our first chord. It's a C chord. So it's C, E, and G. Remember, we got that from the melody, right? And every other note is our C chord. So every major chord has a root, a third, and a fifth. Okay, so there's odd numbers. And then our second chord is going to be G. That's our 5 chord. It's built on the 5th note of the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's also known as our dominant chord. Now, why is this a G chord, and why does it look so differently and not as symmetrical as a C? Well, we have a symmetrical form of it, and that's if we get the G and we put it down here, it's now in root position. So there's our G chord, okay? But to get from C to G, instead of doing this and jumping, we're going to play it in an inversion. So we get the G from down here, and we put it up here. And then we go back to C, and then we're going to play F, which is our 4 chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now the same thing happens with F. We're inverting it. Here's the root position version of F. So we're getting the C, and we're putting it down here. So the idea of smooth voicing is to keep the notes that you have in common as you're shifting chords, and just keeping that note. So C and F chord have a C in common. So there. So F is F, A, C. Again, 1, 3, 5. Right? But I'm just putting the C here. And G is G, B, D. So take a moment to familiarize yourself with these 3 chords. C, G, F, C. And now we'll put it with the melody. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to appear as if we're playing our hands together. But in fact, the hands never play together in this. The left hand only plays when the right is not playing. And here's your example. So C, 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 C. Do you see that? So this is the beginning again. And then it repeats. So if you have those 2 down, you can do the next part. Now watch what happens. The C is going to play in between the right hand. And what happened there? Once I got to the D, I changed to the G chord. So now here's the next part. E, E, D, C, C, E, G, 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 F. And as soon as I hit that F in the melody, we get, coincidentally, the F chord. C. And I did my amen ending. I just went C, C, F, C. So let's break break it down part by part, and you're going to practice part by part. So when you practice, just repeat each part if you're having problems, not just playing it right away. All right, so what you're going to do is, so now if you struggled with that, try to play it that just 5 times in a row. And you play that 5 times in a row, right? And you get it, right? So now you know the second part is exactly that, the same. And now the third part. And then you can practice that 5 times in a row, right? This. Now when you have that down, you can practice this next part. So again, you can pause the video, go back, right? And then the final part. Okay, so now another fun thing you can do is transpose it to other keys or play it in minor. So once you have the tune down in major, and make sure before you go on in minor that you do have the tune down in major. So now to play minor, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we get 3, and we lower it by a semitone or a half step. So we have C, D, E flat, F, and G. And also the F chord is going to become an F minor chord. So here's F chord, and we're going to lower that. The G chord remains the same, because 5 will always be major. So things will sound way more serious in C minor. F minor there. So now notice that the whole thing was exactly the same except for these 2 notes. We swapped out A flat for A natural, and we swapped out E flat for E natural. So now you can play in minor. So now if you've watched one of my other videos, you'll know all of the different chords and all of the different hand positions. I'm not going to go through that here, but that would be your next step. So for those of you who want a little bit more of an advanced lesson, you now have the option, right? You have the option of going on and playing it in other keys. So to give you an example, you'd play it in D, right? So to find D, you have to find, first of all, the first 5 notes of the scale, right? And then you have to find the 3 basic chords in D. And if you've watched my chord video, you'll know these 3, and you'll know the inversions. So these are some more advanced things you can do. So you need a D, you need a G, and you need an A, right? And then you would follow the pattern of the melody. So on and so forth, right? And then another advanced thing you can do is play it in different inversions, right? So instead of starting here, say we go back to C major, you would start in first inversion, right? And find the closest inversion to for G, and then F, and then you can start in this inversion. Like that, okay? So that would be the next thing to do. Then a final thing to do would be is to bop the melody, right? So play it with a little bit of a swing. Something like that, right? And you can mess around with it. another thing you can do is go listen to some of the, this is a simple 5-note tune, but you'd be so enthralled with all of the things that can be done with it. Start with Louis Armstrong and listen to all the jazz greats and all the things that they do with it, and that will inspire you to play more and more and more on an advanced level. Okay, well, I hope this helped you. As always, I wish you happy practicing, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you for watching.